All right, so Carl Perkins and Blue Suede Shoes. Probably the most famous rockabilly song of all time. Most people knew it because of Elvis, right? Elvis had a huge hit with it. Probably paid for a lot of houses for Carl and a lot of Cadillacs, actually. That's what they were always getting there. So we're going to run through it today. This isn't going to be a here's how you play it exactly off of a record kind of a lesson. I'm going to teach this to you the way I would teach it to you if you and I were going to go to a jam or we were going to play a gig and we needed to play this song and you were like, never heard it, don't know what to do. Okay, so this is a really great song for someone even who's just beginning, because it's the kind of song where the floor to get in is pretty easy. It's just a straight up 1-4-5 blues in the good old key of A, everybody's rock and roll key. And so that means you can play it really simply or you can go just way out there, right? Because a 1-4-5 blues is this really great framework to just play some magic. Thousands of songs have this progression in it and people play it a lot of ways. So we're just going to kind of dig in and get started. I'll show you a couple different ways to kind of do the rhythm, and then we'll talk about sort of what he was doing with the lead parts and some other ideas you can do. It's this really good place to kind of get started with leads too, because you can kind of just do a minor pentatonic and really get away with it. So the good thing about this is if you do start a band or you're playing on somewhere like Bill Street or something, someone's going to ask you to play it. So you need it in your repertoire, right? So let's get started. Okay, so Blue Suede Shoes is a 1-4-5 in A. So that just means it's an A, D, E. Okay, and you can play that lots of different ways. You could just play it with the open chords like I just did. You can do it as kind of a boogie woogie pattern up here at the 5th fret. Like that. You could do it all those ways, and those are totally valid. It's also a really good song to kind of learn how to sing because it has those stops at the beginning. So let's talk about those. So there's a little trick that happens with those, right? So it's like, and so what it is he's sliding back a half a step and then sliding up. So you get, now when he's doing those stops, it's all the A part, right? So it's like, it's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready now, go cat go, but don't you, and then it moves to the D. Step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything, but they all for my blue suede shoes. Now here's another thing about a 1-4-5. Some people will change to that E7, some people will stay on the A. It just depends on your group and how you guys are vibing and what you want to do. So let's talk about another part about this rhythm, because there's something that happens whether you're playing the Carl Perkins version or the Elvis version. With the Elvis version, Elvis was playing rhythm, right? So he's playing a lot of open A, D, and E chords that's really filling it out. And so Scotty's doing a lot more of this where you're just playing maybe on the high strings, so you're doing these triads. The nice thing about those triads is they're nice and tight and they're all in one area. Carl kind of did that too because he was a great guitar player, I think highly underrated. And so there were some fills and stuff that he was doing in there too. So if I were you and you were just playing this either as the guitar player, not the singer, or if you're singing, I usually tend to do it up here at the 5th fret. And so if you're just going to be doing that, you're going to be just kind of doing these partial chords. So for the A, on the D string, 7th fret, that's your A, and you're just doing an A major chord. So it's the 7th, like that there. Now, the nice thing is since the bass player is going to play this D, all you need to do to play basically a D9 chord is you're just going to bar at the 5th fret the G, the B, and the E string, right? And then when you do the E, you're just going to slide up 2 frets. And then you're back to the A. So the nice thing about that is you can get these really tight, really cool sounding rhythms that are just like. So the song is just a really standard cycle. It starts with the A with the 1, then it takes the D to the 4 right here, then it goes back to the 1, then up to the 5, which is E, back to the 1, cycle over 1, 4, 1, 5, 1. And so that's the rhythm for the entire thing, over the solos, during the verses, everything. So like we said when we were talking about the stop, so the song starts with, well, it's 1 for the money. And what he's doing is he's sliding back half a step and sliding into it. So it's really simple, but it gives a nice kind of, it's a tension and then a release, so you get that. So it's like, it's 1 for the money, for the show, 3 to get ready now, go cat go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything, lay off of my blue suede shoes. And that's it. So that's the rhythm part. If you can get that down and you can sing like Elvis, and you travel back in time to 1954, you'll be the first rock star. Congratulations. Let's talk about soloing again. So most of what Carl and even Scotty are doing in this is they're kind of doing a major minor, a little bit of a major minor thing. There's some hammering on from a minor third to a major third there. They're using the flat 5, so you kind of get this. A lot of bending into that, which is real popular. So kind of what you want to do is just run through the cycle, put it on a looper, and just kind of play around with, like I said, really focus on getting that flat 5 in there. And as you play, try to maybe add some other, like hammer on a major third in there. Experiment, play. But I mean, even if you just do a straight up blues. Right, you could just do that 1-4-5 pentatonic and it'll sound good. You can try it different positions. You know, this is a way to practice, right? You want to practice your pentatonic scales, and you kind of get tired of doing just the same blues. I mean, this is still a 1-4-5 blues, so try to use your ear to kind of play with and lead into those changes. When it changes to E, when it changes to D, you kind of want to lead into those. A good exercise, honestly, is like play an A. When it changes to the D, hit that D. Back to the A. Then the E. D. And then go back to the A. So a good practice thing to try to do is hit the root note when the chord is changing, right? So if it's in A, right, and we're in the A minor pentatonic, when it changes to D, start on that D, right? And then back to A. And then the E. And then back to the A. And so there's just tons and tons of ways you can work on this, and you can actually play a song and work on the basics at the same time. And then if you're a seasoned vet and you already know how to do this, you can just wail away. You're probably not watching this video anyway, so that's fine. But I've always found this song, it's a classic. It's a classic for a reason. It's a reason it was a hit and charted on basically all the charts at the same time. All right, like I said, I wasn't going to teach you like a note for note transcription on how to play these songs. I think that doesn't make sense. That's not what these songs are. These songs were a vibe and a time, and people taking these basic things like a 1-4-5 blues that was used in both blues, of course, and country, and then pushing those together. That's what those guys did at Sun Records and a lot of these other places. I just kind of want to push you in the right direction, and then you got to experiment and play. So remember, it's just a 1-4-5 in A. Use your A minor pentatonic, throw some flat fives in there, maybe throw a major third in there here and there, and just see what it sounds like. If it feels good and it sounds good, it's going to be good, right? So you can do it. Just keep practicing, keep playing, and like make sure you're having some fun. Make sure you're playing along with some things. Put the records on. Once you figure out this progression, you'll notice it's in 1,000 different songs. The key might change, but these basics will never change. So learn the basics. Remember to like try to change a little bit of what you're playing and kind of lead into the next note of the next chord, because just use your ear. That's what you're going to have to do. So give it a shot. I know you can do it. Okay, guys, well, hopefully that was a really helpful lesson on Blue Suede Shoes to kind of get you started and kind of push you down that hill of some more great rockabilly songs. I have a few more lessons on some other things, so check those out. Like, subscribe. It helps me with the YouTube gods, and maybe I can do some more of these. So I really appreciate it. Until next time, just keep playing and have some fun, man.